Mark eats the onion in his hand, but his eyes were filled with murderous intent because his family had been killed by Jack. To avenge the death of his family, he followed Adam to Liangshan. All the people here had come to take refuge. Adam had gathered 107 brave and courageous men. They robbed the rich and gave to the poor to bring justice to the poor, for the benefit of the people of the city. Mark remembered his family who had been burnt to death by the fire. He joined in with a sense of righteousness. Under his teacher's tutelage, Mark shaved off his long hair. He took up martial arts training. Even the local soldiers avoided them, despite the power of Mark's killing knife. But he was not a bad man. He never killed anyone. He just cut off their hair, because if he didn't have hair, no one else could have it either. When Mark thought it was time, he had the idea to seek revenge on Jack, but Mark didn't know that by this time Jack had a rifle, and he had paid a lot of money to the government. All the people of the city had become his laborers. He was making a fortune from the grain he was harvesting. Seeing that there was nothing to be gained by waiting any longer, Mark came to him in the dead of night to settle the score. But Jack was no slouch either. Mark fought a dozen rounds. He couldn't hurt him at all. Instead, he was stabbed with his long knife. Seeing that this was no longer an option, he deliberately drew Jack into the bamboo forest. What he didn't know was that Jack had fallen for a trick. Adam had already taken over his territory with his brothers and pushed away his Gatling machine gun. When Jack realized he had been tricked, he took a large group of soldiers and attacked the mountain, killing all the people. Even Adam was ruthlessly killed. All the women and children were taken and hung up. When Mark returned home and saw his men on the ground, he decided that he would avenge the death of his men. Just as the soldiers were about to kill them all, Mark had arrived with his Gatling. With a shower of sparks, all the soldiers in the execution ground were shot into a hornet's nest.